I'm Beverly Kidd, and as we think about our veterans this time of year, I recently sat down with a few of them who came together to try and figure out a way to honor their fellow servicemen and women. And what they came up with is as American as it gets. Marine Rick Franco, Airman Mike Trott, former Army Special Forces R.J. Casey, and Navy SEAL Harold Underdown. All retired now, but the memories of their time overseas fighting for our country are fresh. And some of the pain lingers as they remember those who didn't come home, like Marine Greg Wright.
His friendship was so genuine, and those are the things that I remember, is that just an unconditional loyalty and really a friendship beyond description.
In 2005, Wright was returning to base with several CIA officials when the vehicle he was driving was ambushed and a firefight broke out.
And much like his character, he then took the role and responsibility of defending and providing security for the others. And
Andrew Warren was a friend of Wright's. They were classmates at Virginia Military Institute. He tells me that Wright shielded an officer who had been shot in that ambush, but in the process, Wright was shot and killed. The CIA says his heroic actions saved the lives of the rest of his team.
Rick and many of us that knew Greg always felt like there was something that we wanted to do to ensure that we always carried his legacy forward.
They came up with Four Branches Bourbon.
Bourbon is truly the American spirit. It's older than the military. It's been around since the birth of our country.
So over the span of a couple of video calls, we basically hammered out a game plan to start this company.
During those calls, there was a conversation about whether making bourbon was the right business, given the rate of addiction, suicide, and mental health issues in the veteran population.
And they were like, well, we're not going to take alcohol away out of the picture, but we can change the narrative. And everyone knows what drink responsibly means, but nobody's said it in decades.
So they came up with a new message that felt right. Serve honorably, drink honorably.
What that means to us, and basically the soul of our company, is we're not going to drink to forget anymore. We're going to sip to remember.
And when you're sipping to remember, not only for the ones who we've lost, but for the happy times in life, the celebrations in life. When you get married, when you get promoted.
I met up with two of the four founders of the company who tell me they wanted their bourbon to taste good, of course, but also symbolize all four branches.
This first piece down there is our foundation. That's what the four sits on, and that represents the Army. Up here, like the mast of a ship or a tower of a submarine, represents the Navy. Across the middle, if you ask the Marine Corps, they'll say leanest and meanest, but it's like a bayonet or a sword. And then swooping up over the sky, you obviously get it, it's the Air Force.
Even the mash itself is symbolic. Most bourbons are made of 3 grains, corn, barley, and rye. But they added aged wheat to the barrel to make it a 4-grain bourbon. While they've only been selling the spirit for about 18 months now, they've already raised $400,000 for veterans charities by donating signed bottles that are sold at auctions.
We did one bottle in Boston that went for $15,000.
Jeez.
One bottle signed. We had a special box built for that, though. It was beautiful. It was for a fallen SEAL down in Panama.
Sipping to remember those who paid the ultimate price.
I thought it was just a tremendous way to reflect and to remember Greg's sacrifice and his service, and really the wonderful friend that he was to us all.
Here's to Greg.
Here's to Greg.
And toasting in appreciation of those who serve honorably, past and present. Four Branches Bourbon and its founders reminding us to be positively proud of those who protect our country and its citizens. In Virginia Beach, Beverly Kidd, News 3.